Hi everyone, my name is Marty DeForge. I am the creator of Elegant Intelligent Style. Basically, that's me giving you fashion advice through YouTube, and you can also find me on Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook. Okay, well, I know you're probably wondering, why are you in flannel? It's the middle of summer. Well, I know I'm not a farmer, so there's that, but I did just go to Alaska, and I kind of thought this was rustic and cute to wear to Alaska. And so I went to Alaska for 10 days. And the reason I'm making this a topic of discussion is because it was incredibly difficult to pack for. Being the fashionista that I am, it was hard to pack more practically than fashionably. So I'll tell you a little bit how my trip went, and then I'll explain to you some things that you should wear while in Alaska, and then I'll show you some important things to keep in your backpack. Alright, so first we were on land. We went to Denali. There's a national state park there, and we took a couple tours there. We were there for only a couple days, and then we went on a cruise. Cruise was a lot of fun. We were there for a whole week, but I did have to pack for being on and off the ship. So now please join me, and I'll show you some really great outfits to wear to Alaska. Hello, okay. So what the temperature's like in Alaska is very weird. You kind of have to play your days by ear and plan to bring more than one outfit of clothing. So not just a shirt, not just a jacket, kind of a couple different things that you can keep in your backpack. Because the weather there, it's cold. In the south, it's really hot during the summer. But in Alaska, their summer is only the month of July and a little bit of June. Then their fall starts in August. So it kind of feels like late October, early November there. So it was kind of in the 50s, 60s, but very windy. And that's what got me cold. I get cold really easily, so I had to layer a lot of my clothes. And so I know layering can be really hard because you're like, well, what do I wear? I don't want to be bundled. I hate being constricted. Well, I have the same thing. So first, when layering, always wear clothes that you will be comfortable in all day long. Wear clothing that is incredibly soft to you, you want to put it on, and you won't mind having more than one level of clothing on your body. So first, bring t-shirts. Bring t-shirts. I wore this on one of our tours, and I put a t-shirt under it and then a vest over it. And then when I got colder, I just put a sweatshirt over all of that. And then later on, I took the sweatshirt off. So it's kind of up to you if you get cold easily like me. But if you don't get cold, you can always wear a t-shirt, and then you can put a sweatshirt over it, and you're probably going to be fine. Also, long sleeve shirts, really great. What you can do, you can always put like a lightweight t-shirt under it. You can always put vests over them. I'll show you some examples of vests. I absolutely love these. I wore these every single day of the trip. This one's kind of a lightweight vest, but it's really soft. It was really easy for me to throw under a lot of things and over some of those long sleeve t-shirts. Now this one was thicker, and this one is a North Face. I don't always recommend designer brands, but when it comes to high quality stuff, maybe things like hiking in Alaska, North Face did me well. Well, this one is fuzzy on the inside, so it's reversible. I loved this. I was able to throw just this over a long sleeve shirt, and I was really warm and comfy all day long. You can also throw this over a sweatshirt, so if you like to bundle, this thing was great. Let me show you some other layering options. Of course, a sweatshirt. Sweatshirt's always great. It could be your giant level before your big coat, which I will get to a coat in just a minute. This right here is great for putting over a t-shirt. You can put a vest over this. This is just a little small fleece pullover. It's not big enough to put a long sleeve shirt under. At least for me, I didn't like being that constricted with my clothing. Got this at Target. Also found this at TJ Maxx. This is a windbreaker. It's really big. You can see how big it is. You can put it on over a sweatshirt, zip it up, and it breaks that wind from coming in. So just something to think about, and it rolls up really tiny. You can throw this in your backpack. You can throw all of this in your backpack as well. Now let me talk to you about pants. Some days it was warm. I was able to wear just some workout pants. It was fine. That was probably one day out of my whole trip. Rest of the days, I wore long yoga pants. These are great. What I did end up going to a glacier. I actually got to walk on a glacier, which was amazing. wore long johns under these yoga pants. It was really warm. So these are great. You can wear these for when it's really cold and also when it's just semi-cold. Finally, jeans. Jeans are always great. Great for hiking. Great for trying to look cuter than workout clothes, but they're a must bring. You have to bring them. You can also put long johns under them as well. I also did have fleece-lined workout pants that I brought. So while we were in Denali before the cruise, it was really casual, really, really rustic. I was able just to wear long sleeve shirt and jeans the whole time, really rugged style. Then when we got on the cruise ship, they do have dinners at night. You can choose to not go to these dinners, but it's really fun and you definitely are going to want to go. There were 2 formal nights on the cruise. This is an example of what I wore on the cruise. Now, this is a very fancy dress. It is a short dress. It's hard to see from the computer, but it is a short dress. It's one of those dresses that you hardly ever get to really wear. I mean, I bought this from Forever 21. I bought it because it was a great buy, and I was like, I really don't know when I'll wear this, but it's such a great buy, I have to get it. And so, that's the perfect time for me. Paired it with a statement necklace, looked great. But there are usually 2 formal nights. Again, they are optional, but it's a great time to wear some of those nicer outfits that you wouldn't normally get to wear. But on those other dinner nights that are not formal, they kind of expect business casual. So I kind of wore things like this. I have white capri pants and a cute little blouse. So it's kind of whatever floats your boat. But if you are doing a trip that sounds a little bit like what I'm explaining, these are some options you can choose to pick from. Now also on the cruise ship, we did have days where we were at sea all day long. So always bring comfy clothes. Like bring shorts and a t-shirt. Bring comfy pants and a t-shirt so you can go. There's tons of activities happening on the ship. So you can go on the ship, do all these things, and you're not just wearing like really bundled up clothing. So that is something comfy for you to wear. Also, we went through Glacier Bay on my cruise, and what that looked like, we were on the boat all day long, and we were outside with all the glaciers, and the sun was up and it was shining, and it was hot. I was in t-shirt and shorts, but as the day went on, I did get cold. But another time, I needed comfy clothes to wear around the ship. This is geared for those who really don't know what at all to bring in Alaska. Now, the trip I went on, we had planned tours. We went from stop to stop to stop. I wasn't doing it just freehand. I wasn't just hiking as I went along. I actually knew what I was going to be doing every day. So make sure that you are knowing what you're doing every day, and this will help you. But if you don't, then I would just say dress warm. But all right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about shoes that I wore on the cruise. Well, on the cruise, I was able to wear comfy shoes, Chacos. I was able to wear them. I was able to wear sneakers, but what really helped me while walking through Alaska and actually being on land were these. I have feet issues. My arches fall, and these are Chaco brand, and they're Chaco sneaker hiking shoes. So part of them are kind of sneaker, they're kind of hiker. They've got great insoles. They don't give a lot of bend, which helps your feet, and it helps you to be able to walk a long time in them and without foot pain. So I recommend these. I will wear these forever now. They were great in mud and rain. All day long I had them on and I felt great. Okay, now I'm going to show you what you need in your backpack for Alaska. And you have to bring a backpack. If you bring anything to Alaska, bring a backpack first and then put clothing in it. Because I would get hot, I would get cold throughout the day. It was hard for me to know what exactly to wear when it was somewhat warm, somewhat cold outside. But I'm going to explain to you some of the temperature in Alaska. It's sunny all day long in July. It's sunny from about 2 in the morning to midnight. So it can get warm, but it does rain really easily there. So it can fluctuate that quick. So just be prepared for it, and I'll show you some of the stuff that was really great for me. Long johns. I went on that glacier, like I said, would not have been able to function without my long johns. Now these I got at Dick's, and they are Polar Edge. That is their brand. They're really soft. I'm very sensitive to what my clothes should feel like, And so I loved them. So get long johns, long sleeves, and long pants to wear under your clothes. Definitely bring a scarf. Just throw it in your bag. You may or may not need it throughout the day, but it can keep your neck warm. Gloves. Now, don't just bring those cute gloves that you got at a boutique. Bring real gloves that can keep you warm. These are really great. They keep the heat in. They have a little cinch down at the bottom. I love these. They actually kept my hands really warm. And I also brought this. This was a must-have. See this? Keeps my ears warm. I needed that on the glacier. If I didn't have this, I would have been miserable. I was only up there for about 20 minutes, but I was freezing, and those saved my life. Okay. Another great thing to have is a rain jacket. Definitely bring a rain jacket. Mine's in a little pouch. It made it really easy to travel with. You never know when it's going to rain on you. Alright, this is was recommended to me by my physical therapist. I have a lot of foot problems. And what these are Dr. Scholl's moleskins. So basically what they are is one side is cloth and one side is like a sticky band-aid on the other side. So you cut little squares. It comes in a square like this. You cut any size you need. Put it on your foot. Put it on that blister that you got from your shoes being too tight or too loose. Put it on your arm cut, anything, and it helps with blisters. It helps with getting more support to your feet. They're really great. Just throw a bag in your backpack and some scissors. I use little teeny tiny tweezer scissors for these, and they saved my life. Loved them. I was there for 10 days, only went through one pack. So that's pretty great. Another thing my physical therapist recommended were these socks. These are Fitz socks. I got them at an outdoor store. They do give support. They have special areas on the socks to give support. They're really fitting to your foot, which I thought I wouldn't like because I don't really like socks, but they're really wonderful. They fit to your feet. They adjust to both cold weather and warm weather. So if you're burning up, they will adjust to that. If you're freezing, they keep in the heat. They're amazing. I recommend these to everyone. Now they are about $20, but you can wear them more than one day in a row, which I thought was super gross. But I did it, and they didn't smell. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Had them on all day, didn't smell at all. Love them. They're called Fitz. They're fabulous. And if you have any part of you that wants to walk more than 3 hours, invest in some of these. All right, another thing that you must bring. I know I have done this before. I hate buying real sunglasses. I like to buy the cute ones at the boutiques that are cute but don't actually work. No, get polarized sunglasses. I found some cute ones. I think I got these at Walmart. It was hard to find them. I know you're thinking they're not that cute, but they're better than some other options. But they were polarized and it's sunny over 20 hours of the day. So you're going to need sunglasses. You will need them. Even if it's rainy at the beginning of the day, you're going to need sunglasses at some point. Okay, now my best investment I ever made is this right here. Like I said, I hate to recommend designer because I always like to see if I can get spend less and get more for my money. But this is an exception to that rule. This is a Michael Kors down jacket, and look at its little pouch. It comes in this pouch. You can put it in your backpack. You can put this anywhere, and it'll be great. Let me show you. Put it in this backpack, throw it in my bag, and I'm good to go. But now, this is a down jacket. It has a hood. And what down does is it keeps in all the heat. So you put this jacket on before you go outside, you zip it up, and it keeps the heat in. So if you do get cold easily, this is the best jacket for you. And it breaks that wind as well. So you can layer and layer and layer and put this on top of everything. So when you get really, really cold, this is that icing on the cake. I love this thing. I wore it all through my school year. I wore it in the heart of winter, and it was fabulous. I recommend this to everyone who has to experience winter. If you live in Hawaii, you are that one exception. But I recommend this. Okay, that's pretty much everything I could think of to bring for Alaska. I loved it. It was gorgeous. I wasn't that excited at first because I thought, oh my God, I'm going to hike. I'm going to get dirty. I'm just not an outdoorsy person, but It was probably my favorite trip I've ever taken. It was gorgeous. The mountains were unreal. The glacier was amazing. The animals, I got to see 3 bears actual in their natural habitat, not in a zoo. And it was amazing. I learned so much about wildlife and loved every minute of it. So if you are ever considering taking an Alaskan trip, either by land, by boat, train, whatever that may be, I recommend it. You'll have a great time.